What if I told you that the store-brand coffee you bought to save a few dollars was actually roasted and packaged by Starbucks? That the generic batteries powering your remote control rolled off the exact same assembly line as Duracell copper tops? And that the bottle of Kirkland signature vodka, famous among connoisseurs, shares a water source with Grey Goose? You walk into a supermarket and are faced with a choice. On one side, the national brand, with its familiar logo and multi-million-dollar advertising campaign. On the other, the store brand. It looks similar, promises the same quality, but costs 20 to 40% less. Most of us assume the choice is a simple trade-off between quality and price. But that assumption is wrong. Because in many cases, the product inside both boxes is identical. This isn't an accident. It's a quiet revolution in retail. A hidden strategy so powerful, it has allowed stores like Costco, Walmart, and Amazon to build multi-billion-dollar empires, not by selling other people's products, but by creating their own. The strategy is called white labeling, or private labeling. It's the secret world behind the brands you see every day, but may not recognize. Brands like Costco's Kirkland Signature, Walmart's Great Value, and Amazon's Amazon Basics are not just cheap alternatives. They are some of the biggest and most successful consumer brands in the world. In fact, if Kirkland Signature were a separate company, it would be a Fortune 100 giant, generating more annual revenue than Coca-Cola or McDonald's. This raises a fundamental question. How did these retailers build massive brands without designing a single product, owning a single factory, or spending $1 on traditional advertising? How does this hidden strategy work? And why has it become one of the most powerful forces in the global economy? That is the secret we are unlocking today. To understand the power of white labeling, we have to first understand the traditional relationship between a manufacturer and a retailer. For most of the 20th century, the model was simple. A company like Procter & Gamble would spend millions developing, manufacturing, and marketing a product, like Tide laundry detergent. Their job was to create consumer demand. A retailer, like Walmart, would then buy Tide from Procter & Gamble and sell it in their stores. Their job was simply distribution. In this model, the power lies with the manufacturer. They own the brand, the customer loyalty, and as a result, the majority of the profit. White labeling completely inverts this power dynamic. The strategy is disarmingly simple. A single manufacturer produces a generic, white label product. They then sell that exact same product to multiple different retailers. Each retailer simply puts their own name on it. Their own brand. Their own label. The manufacturer doesn't have to spend a dime on marketing, brand building, or advertising. They just focus on what they do best, making the product efficiently and at scale. The retailer, in turn, gets a product without investing anything in research, development, or factory overhead. They can bring a new product to market in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost. Because they've cut out the massive marketing and branding costs associated with a national brand, they can sell the product for significantly less, while often making a higher profit margin. It's a win-win. But to truly see its genius, we need to look at the company that perfected it. In 1995, Costco was a growing warehouse club with a problem. They sold hundreds of different store brand products under dozens of different names. It was confusing for customers and inefficient for the business. Their solution, driven by co-founder Jim Seingal, was to consolidate everything under a single, new private label. They named it Kirkland Signature, after the location of their corporate headquarters in Kirkland, Washington. Their mission was simple, yet radical. Kirkland Signature would not be just a cheaper option. It would be an option of equal or better quality than the leading national brands, at a guaranteed discount of at least 20%. This was a promise of value, and Costco enforced it ruthlessly. They used their immense buying power to partner with the best manufacturers in the world. They didn't seek out cheap suppliers, they sought out the same suppliers used by the top brands. The result is an open secret. Kirkland Signature coffee is famously roasted by Starbucks. Kirkland batteries are made by Duracell. Their tuna is supplied by Bumblebee. Costco doesn't hide this. They leverage it. They are so confident in their suppliers that they don't even see a need to build their own factories. This strategy does two powerful things. First, it builds immense customer trust. Shoppers stop seeing Kirkland as a generic brand and start seeing it as a curated seal of approval. They trust that Costco has done the hard work of vetting the product for them. This trust is the foundation of Costco's entire business model. Second, it gives Costco total control. They dictate the quality, the ingredients, and most importantly, the price. While a national brand has its own profit margin baked in, Costco can go directly to the manufacturer and cut out that layer. The savings are passed on to the customer, creating an unbeatable value proposition that keeps their 130 million members fiercely loyal. This raises a logical question. Why would a company like Starbucks or Duracell agree to this? Why would they create a product that directly competes with their own brand, on the same shelf, for a lower price? The answer lies in the brutal economics of manufacturing. Factories are enormously expensive. Their biggest enemy is downtime. An idle assembly line is a machine that burns money. A partnership with Costco is a golden ticket to 100 efficiency. Costco's orders are massive and, more importantly, predictable. They can offer to buy up a factory's entire unused capacity. This means the manufacturer can run their equipment 24/7, maximizing efficiency and dramatically lowering the production cost of every single item they make, including their own branded products. Furthermore, a white label deal is pure volume with zero marketing risk. Duracell spends hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising to convince you to buy their batteries. With their Costco deal, the sales are guaranteed. There are no marketing costs, no sales teams, no advertising budgets. Just a simple, massive purchase order. It's a stable, low-risk revenue stream that complements their higher-margin, higher-risk branded business. They get to have their cake, and eat it too. For decades, this was the state of white labeling. But the rise of e-commerce, and one company in particular, has pushed the strategy into a new, more aggressive phase. That company is Amazon. Amazon has something that Costco and Walmart could only dream of: perfect, real-time data on every single product sold on its platform by millions of third-party sellers. They know exactly what's selling, who's buying it, at what price, and what features customers are searching for. In 2009, Amazon decided to weaponize this data. They launched Amazon Basics. The strategy is simple and ruthless. Amazon's internal teams identify a top-selling product category on their site. Let's say, a simple office chair sold by a third-party company. They see the sales data, read the customer reviews, and identify any weaknesses. Then, they go to a manufacturer and create their own version. The Amazon Basics office chair. Because they control the platform, they can place their product at the very top of the search results. Because they have no marketing costs and can leverage their massive logistics network, they can almost always undercut the original seller on price. This has been a source of major controversy, with critics arguing that Amazon is using its platform to unfairly compete with the small businesses that depend on it. Regardless of the ethics, it is a devastatingly effective business strategy. Amazon has used this model to launch thousands of products under hundreds of private label brands, from batteries and phone chargers to clothing and furniture. They are using their role as the marketplace to become the ultimate competitor. And that brings us to the core insight. The billion-dollar secret of white labeling. The strategy's true power is not just about creating a cheaper product. It is about a fundamental transfer of power, from the people who make the products to the people who own the customers. For a century, the brand was the manufacturer. Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola. Retailers were just the final stop on the supply chain. A commodity. But companies like Costco and Amazon realized that their stores, physical or digital, were where the real relationship with the customer was formed. They were the ones the customer trusted. White labeling is the ultimate expression of this power. It allows the retailer to sever the connection between the product and the original manufacturer. You don't buy Duracell batteries at Costco. You buy Kirkland signature batteries. You don't search for a third-party HDMI cable on Amazon. You buy the Amazon Basics cable. The retailer is no longer just a distributor. They are the brand. They control the shelf space, they control the data, and they control the customer relationship. They have transformed their stores from a place where brands are sold into the brand itself. The product in the box is a commodity. The real product is the trust you have in the name on the outside of the box. The rise of white labeling is one of the most important, yet least seen, shifts in modern business. It teaches a powerful lesson. In today's economy, owning the factory is no longer the key to success. Owning the customer is. The brand is the promise made to that customer. A promise of quality, value, and consistency. By placing their own name on the box, retailers are making that promise directly. They are leveraging the trust they've built to capture higher profits and create a level of loyalty that national brands can no longer take for granted. It proves that sometimes the most powerful strategy isn't to invent something new, but to perfect the art of the final step, the relationship with the person who actually buys it. If you learn something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?